Raven Robinson. As a young girl, I always said I would never have kids. Oh no, that was not for me. Don't ask me to babysit and don't even ask me to hold your baby. Well, I shocked myself and everyone else when I got pregnant. Not only was it because I didn't like kids, but more so because I was only 15 years old. I was only in high school and living my life to the fullest. I was even planning my sweet 16 birthday party. It was going to be big, the biggest party that anyone at my school had ever seen. But instead, I traded in a car for a stroller, a party for doctor visits, and tiny, tiny clothes for maternity outfits. And this right here is the hospital band that I wore on the day that I gave birth to my daughter, Alexis Mariah. I gave birth to Alexis in Hampton, Virginia on December 23rd, 2007. After giving birth, I went back to school here, actually in Hampton, Bethel High School, to finish my last semester there. I moved to Chicago with my grandmother because my mother couldn't handle the fact that I was so young with a baby. She really didn't want to do it. So I went with my grandmother to Chicago, lived on the south side of Chicago, 128th Street. I went to Finger High School, one of the worst schools in Chicago, on the south side of Chicago. This school is it's on Chicagoland, CNN, they talk about the whole school. It's pretty bad. But I made the best of it, actually. I really, really did. In Chicago, I really grew up. I learned how to get on the bus, the train. I did all these things by myself, although at the same time, my grandmother helped me. But a lot of times, I really tried to do everything on my own. And I always made sure that I would make something of myself, and I wasn't going to become a statistic. It was already enough. I was a statistic by being the teen, with a baby. But I didn't want it, to keep being a statistic. One of the girls who didn't go to high school, so. And a little fact is, about 82% of teen pregnancies are unplanned. In other words, they are unwanted or occurred too soon, according to the National Survey of Adolescents. In my case, it occurred just way too soon. So, I was 16 with a baby, no car, no money, and no high school diploma. I always needed help from family members, and the one that always stuck by my side was my grandmother. My grandmother helped me with diapers, milk, food, rides, anything that I needed, she was always there for me. One of the bad things, of course, being a teen mom, was the fact that I could not provide for my child like a stable mom. I couldn't do it by myself. I always needed help. And I wanted to get away from that, which I'll get into in a little bit. At one point in my junior year, it was the beginning of my junior year, I almost gave up and was about to get my GED. It wasn't because I wanted it, it was because my mother, she told me that I should just go ahead, give up, get my GED, because from being in Virginia and then going to Chicago, the whole school system is totally different. They told me that if I wanted to graduate in Chicago, that I would have to stay there for a whole nother year. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to graduate with everyone else. My 2010 year, I wanted to graduate. And so I was telling Mom, hey, I got to move back to Virginia if I want to finish on time and this, that, and the other. But she preferred me to just go ahead and get my GED just so I wouldn't come back home with her. So after talking to her for some time, my grandmother talking to her, finally I went back to Virginia. And then some more facts about teenage pregnancy. Some teenage girls drop out of school to have their babies and don't return. In this way, pregnant teens lose the opportunity to learn skills necessary for employment and self-survival as adults. Less than 2% of teen moms earn a college degree by the age of 30. I want to talk about a little bit more about some of the accomplishments after having a child. In high school, I kept my grades up and I always received honor roll. I was offered an opportunity to go to school in Europe. I ended up turning it down only because I had a child and I wanted to stay with her. My grandmother, she told me she would keep her and I can go off to Europe, but I said no, I didn't really want to do that. I also joined the girls club in high school, and this club really helped me meet friends. It helped me build confidence in myself, and all the girls always made me feel like I was never alone. One of the ladies there, her name was Miss Leonard. She always helped me. She definitely inspired me. I used to talk to her a lot about anything that was going on. I graduated on time, and I was able to walk across the stage with my peers from Bethel High School. I went to college. My freshman year, I was awarded an honor award for having one of the highest GPAs in the freshman class. In 2011, I bought my first car all by myself. It was $2,500, a Chevy Cavalier 2002, still working, I still drive it now. And also, while I was in Chicago, I did some modeling, one of my first modeling jobs, and I got like $200. I was so happy, but I didn't get to spend that $200 on clothes or whatever else. I spent it on my daughter. And it really felt good. I was like, whoa, you know, for the first time I'm able to do something by myself. I made my own money. I did something by myself. And I want to talk a little bit more about why this...
Breathe. It's okay. Take a deep breath. It's okay. You might have tissue.
So I want to talk a little bit more about why this
We're going to give you some
band
tissue.
inspires me.
It's okay. Just breathe. Everything's fine. We're here for you. Just breathe. Thank you. Don't really have a tissue. You're fine. You're fine. These speeches could be that way. Yeah, these speeches could be that way. Yes.
But, so this band, it really inspires me to finish college and to become a successful woman. More than anything, I want to be on TV. That way people can know my story. And with my experience, I really want to help other young ladies. And so far, since I haven't really gone to like big things where I do speeches or anything like that, but like I've met other young women who may be pregnant or maybe young with a baby or anything, and I'm always there talking to them. I do things where I help other young ladies, and it's like I said, it's nothing big. It's just like if I meet them, I'll just, hey, let me get your number and I'll call you and see how you're doing. I also try to teach young girls, you know, how to dress yourself, and although you're young, you don't have to, you know, look a certain way or anything like that, you know. So I really try to help other people. Also, this band inspires me to be the best mom to my daughter. I always make sure I do everything for her. I'm putting her in everything: gymnastics. She's in the church choir. She goes to summer camp, dance classes, all types of stuff. And
It's okay.
now, my life may not have gone the way I expected it to, but I made the best of it. I will continue to push forward and to make sure my daughter and I have the best. This band reminds me every day of the pain and joy that has brought me here today. This band is my story. The day I wore this, I was 16. I was lost, confused, and thought my life ended. In all actuality, my life was just beginning. My Alexis gives me the energy and drive to work every day. So every time I look at this band, it reminds me of my story. Thank you.
All right.